urges and sexuality.
Oh, you started going crazy.
I've learned a lot of lessons. Number one, there's no shame in consensual sex. Number two,
that you're single. Yeah, obviously, if I wanted to get into a mediocre relationship, I could easily do that.
Got the Monday blues. I want somebody to vent to. I want somebody to talk to me. I want somebody to probably send me some money to make me feel better.
That's my roster. I got a handful of guys where I can hit them up and be like, rent, bills, phone, this, that.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Look, baby, sometimes it's me. Sometimes it's me. I'm real picky. I'm kind of intolerant. I get irritated real fast and then I don't want to talk. Most importantly, I feel like I really only want a boyfriend like 3 days out the week. Monday come around, I do want a man on Mondays. Mondays is definitely a day where I feel like I could use a partner today. You got the Monday blues. I want somebody to vent to. I want somebody to talk to me. I want somebody to probably send me some money to make me feel better. Yeah, I'd like a man today. By the time Tuesday gets here, my spirits are lifted again. I'm not really in the mood to talk. I kind of want to do my own thing. Wednesdays as well. Thursday getting here, I'm thinking about the weekend. I want to go out. I want to look cute. I want somebody to tell me I look cute. I want my drinks paid for. I want us to have a nice, fun time. I want us to go home together. I want us to just chill. I want to cuddle. I want to cook breakfast on Saturday mornings. I want to run errands together. And by the time Sunday gets here, I've been around people all weekend. I want to be by myself again. I want to lay in my bed all day and I don't want to have to answer my phone. I don't want anybody texting me saying, why are you not texting back? I haven't heard from you. I'm not trying to hear all that, baby. I want to be able to go as long as I want without talking to anybody, and I don't want to have to explain that to a soul. And I know that that is not good for a relationship, baby. You can't do that. But that's what I want. That's how I am. That's where I'm at right now.
And you know what's wild, right? You know, it's one thing she left out. She left out the Saturday clap sessions when she gets drunk. She left out the clap sessions of the guy that hits her up at certain times. So during this time, while you're single, I'm sure you have a man you're creeping with. They will never say it. They will never mention it. They will take it to their death. And I saw a guy break it down, and I said, yeah, great breakdown. And I've always looked at it that way. And most guys know that. You have someone occupying your time. A lot of ladies just want to, guys know what that means. They just want, and that's it. They're fine with, and then go on about a week. That's the issues. That's why you're single. See, you admitted that the attitude problem is why you're single. But no, it's deeper than that. That trauma, it gets them, boy. The way they feel, it gets them every time.
My number one thing. Somebody asked, do you guys know why you're single? And I'll speak for myself. I know exactly why I'm single, because I've never dated a guy that God would have approved for me. Not to say, let me clarify and say that I've actually only dated great men. I have a great picker. I've only dated really wonderful guys, good people to their core, obviously not perfect and clearly not from me, because we would be together if that was the case, but like good people, but never somebody who's further along in their faith than I am.
Yeah.
And I know without a shadow of a doubt that the person God has for me is like so far along in their faith than I am. And I have such a desire, like a yearning to be led spiritually. I just want to sit and look up at a man talking to me about theology. And I'll be so happy. You know what I mean? And so there's always been, unfortunately, not in like an insulting way, but there's a level of respect that I'll have for the person that I'm with when that's the case. And I've never experienced that.
You should have that no matter what, for all men. It should be in you, right? She's a Christian woman who's still in the world. The fact that she said, I should have that, that should be in you. Like, you should live, breathe that. You should want to be around men, and you gotta not pursue as far as, hey, how you doing? Let me get your phone number. But you have to pitch yourself in positions to get a man. See, a lot of these girls, especially her, right? You see how she looks. She has pretty privilege to where a guy's going to see her, get hung up. But a lot of times, they don't get talked to. Why? Because guys automatically going to think, I can't get her. But One thing I have to say, I have to say this because it's true. If she talks about, oh, a man that makes over 100,000, and she talks like that, these are the women that are getting the men that make that much money, that are qualified for the men. I'll give her that. I can't really because of the fake up. I would have to see you without it on. But if you look somewhat decent, at least like an 8, which I doubt. Actually, I take that back. I take that back. Sorry, y'all. I take that back.
Angle at 38 is largely because I was raised in purity culture. If you don't know what purity culture is, consider yourself blessed. I'm going to explain it to you. Essentially, purity culture, it's probably in some form of every major religion, because most major religions have the concept of staying pure and not doing it before you get married. I'm going to be talking about purity culture within the evangelical Christian world because that's where I experienced it. Essentially, there is a lot of emphasis on making sure you stay pure before you get married, and staying pure means basically
She stayed. Well, she's saying that we don't know, right? And cat lady in the car. It's deep. The cat lady is deep in this one. She has her cat in the car. I just had to point that out. In the car is crazy. I bet you it's cat food in the back seat. Forget toxic purity culture. Man, get with you and go, why is all this catnip in the back seat? Is the cat jump on the shoulder? Oh, well, Fluffles. That's why he's single. Fluffles jumped on the man's seat.
Kids! You know I love them.
He was in the passenger seat. You get a ride to his car. Fluffles jumped on the shoulder.
basically not doing anything. It's even really highly discouraged to even kiss your partner or your boyfriend or girlfriend before you get married. I remember being a young girl.
Oh, she saves disadvantaged cats too. I had to pause real quick. You see the cat with the eye? Disadvantaged, poor, disheveled cats on the side of the road. This is the worst. See? Exposed. They're exposing themselves. I had to stop it because she exposed herself. Cat in the car, cat with a bad eye. That means she goes around looking for cats. She finds cats on the side of the road and wants to bring them home. What does that show to a man? Loneliness? Nothing to do in your life? You got time to go around and look at cats all day long, and you got time to walk around the neighborhood and go on searches for cats?
And my mom telling me that the greatest gift I could give her would be to save my very first kiss for my wedding day. And even as a very young girl, I remember thinking, that's weird. I remember telling my mom, what if I wait till the day I get engaged? Like I was like already trying to be like, that's a little bit extreme. But there's so much emphasis, especially on the women, on making sure you stay pure before you get married. And I remember sitting in youth groups and in churches, and my mom, would make these metaphors where they would talk about how every time you kissed somebody or every time you held hands with somebody, you were giving away a piece of your heart. And so then by the time you actually met the person that you were supposed to be with, you're basically broken and you're not full, and they only get this fraction of you. There's also so much emphasis on the women making sure they dress modestly to not make the men stumble. And that created a lot of fear within me because it translated in my mind as men are dangerous and I can't trust them around me or they are going to do something to hurt me. Now, I am a rule follower at heart. My mom used to always joke that
I had to stop it, guys. Just now, she just told the truth. It's not toxic purity culture. It's feminism.
That she never had to worry about me doing anything wrong because I would tell on myself. And that is still mostly true to this day. I didn't have my first kiss until I was either 19 or 20 years old. It was right on that cusp. And it was after I had a little bit to drink and I felt so guilty and so much shame. And the reason why I was that old when I waited to have my first kiss was because I was trying to stay pure.
Stop the cap.
And so as I have gotten older and started to kind of deconstruct the shame that I have had around my sexual urges and sexuality.
Oh, you started going crazy.
I've learned a lot of lessons. Number one, there's no shame in consensual sex. Number two, you want to talk about waiting until marriage, where in the Bible they were married to multiple people. They weren't waiting till marriage. The wives were because it made their value greater to the men. Virginity was only this concept that was created as like a monetary form. And so I have turned down in my life really good men because I was afraid of my own sexuality. I was afraid of not being experienced in it. I was afraid of them leaving me if I told them that I wanted to wait until marriage. And then even as I got to the point in my life where I no longer wanted to wait until marriage, I still had that fear of like, I'm in my 30s and I'm not very experienced like I should be. And I still have friends who are now in their 40s that are still virgins and waiting until marriage, and it makes dating very, very difficult, especially at this age. And I'm not in that place anymore, but I know that that played a huge role into how I pursued men and pursued relationships.
Okay.
5 years now, and one of the things I just can't believe, like one of my friends from high school, she got married twice, 2 times.
Look at this one says. It says, I admit I am indeed the problem. I am the reason I'm single. I'm picky beyond belief, but still manage to pick the wrong one. I'm the biggest flirt, get the ick after 5 minutes, and I'm an absolute handful after I've had a drink. But hey, at least I'm funny. You're a nightmare. That's what you are. A nightmare to be around, a nightmare to be with. But and you actually you said it. You said, and I'm a handful after I've had a drink. I bet you are. Because you get emotional and go, why does Shaq keep leaving me? I keep she the type of girl to get drunk. Say, I keep giving Chaz my body and they keep leaving me. She's a pick me, I'm telling you guys. You know, you have pick me's that are the good pick me's, and then you have pick me's like her that give him the body like pick me, stay with me. A lot of women are like that, and breaks down, shows she has mental issues somewhat, right? And men don't want to deal with it. Pretty, but a pretty headache.
First of all, I would never pick a loser.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
First of all, I would never pick a loser, and I would never want to be picked by a loser. That's another one. Finally, a topic I can get behind. I love the fact that I'm single. Thank God I am single. Thank God. The clarity I have in my eyes, like I don't be wanting any parts of I don't. No, I don't. I love telling a man no. I love saying no because I'm not budging. This is what I want, and this is what I need, and this is what I expect. And also, I don't care. I literally don't care. I don't care that you took me to dinner. You should be doing that. You should be doing that. What do I get? Absolutely nothing. You're lucky I'm here. You're lucky I'm speaking to you. You're lucky that you're looking at me. Are you kidding me right now? Ew. Ew. So many girls. I think it really is a mindset shift that you have to like focus on and take a dating break. Like, please take a dating break. Dating breaks are so important. We don't talk about them enough. I got to talk about them more. Dating breaks are important. You know what I mean? Like, people right now, this is a realization I've had.
Take a makeup break too. I want to see that. Take a makeup break and then speak like this as you take your makeup break at the same time while you're taking a dating break. Make content and talk this positive, as you will call it positive. Talk this arrogant as you take your makeup break.
Okay. Everybody's like roster. Ew, a roster of men. First of all, no, that's not the vibes. How do you guys find more than one guy you can tolerate? Second, a roster of men that give you money. That's my roster. I got a handful of guys where I can hit them up and be like, rent, bills, phone, this, that. Thank you so much. That's the roster I want.
She belongs to the streets.
A roster of guys that want my time, energy, affection, attention for nothing. That's giving cheap. That's giving low vibrational. I don't like that. Absolutely not. So yes, I like being single. I love it. I love it. The mornings are for me. Everything is for me. Everything is about me. And even if I got into a relationship, it's still always about me. Absolutely yes. I just feel like you're always the hottest version of yourself when you're single. I don't know. Maybe that's like a mindset shift for me. I'm always hot. So I'm always focused on that, and I'm always healthy. I'm always happy. I'm always prioritizing all of those things. I'm always focusing on myself. I'm always reading. I just have so much time. I love it. I love it. And every time I talk to someone in a relationship, I think, thank God I'm not in a relationship. First of all, I would never pick a loser. And I would never want to be picked by a loser. That's another one. You know what I mean? Like, and you see,
already said that.
when you don't do the work, you also see, like, some girls are like, me, for example, I don't want kids, okay? And people are always like, when you meet the one. No, I don't want kids. I don't want it. I've thought about it. I've thought it through. I've explored life without them, and I think that's for me. Anyways, I was having this conversation with a girl a little while ago, and we were on the same vibe, same wavelength, and she has been on this wavelength forever, okay? And she's been single for a minute, too. I love that for us. She starts talking to a guy. He starts putting into her head, first of all, you're just talking. She wants kids. I said, what? Absolutely not. Also, this relationship was it was a dumpster fire. It was a trash bin that was lit on fire rolling, okay? After several weeks, she was like, we stopped talking. Naturally so. You were talking for 3 weeks and he was like asking and talking about kids with you. Are you? He wanted to basically ruin your life because he hates women probably. Anyways, my point being is like, things change so quickly as soon as a man gets involved because you think, oh my God, wait, the fairy tale is possible. I can get it. I want it. And it's like you miss all the red flags. You miss all of the signs, all of the flashing lights. Everything is bad and on fire. And I just think, yes, being single is literally where a lot of you need to stay for a very long time. You need to rewire your brain fully. Okay? You need to learn. You need to absorb. You need to understand. You need to think with the critical thinking skills that I'm giving you. I'm literally giving them to you every day. So please, being single is it's 2025. What? Of course I want to be single. Are you?
All right, cut.
Next.
Right? That's how it is. Cut. TikTok. It's TikTok. Cut. Oh man, I'm so seriously. Like it's like action. All right, guys. Yeah, be single. Oh, I would never talk to a loser. After she's put the makeup on, stick construction on the face. Peel that layer back and let's see her talk so confident. Peel that layer back, let her go from an 8 to a 5, 4, then see how confident she is. Right? That all of them have on that makeup and they talk a big game. And they're doing it for money. I can't hate on her. Get your money. But you're lying to the ladies. It's ruining the future. I don't think they really they get it. That's what's happening. I gotta tell it like it is. That's what's being done. So, but it's not gonna stop. Like, even when TikTok shut down, right? In America, you still got Instagram. That's gonna boost. Instagram is gonna boost again. Facebook is going to get another boost because the U.S. users are going to jump there more. If they were on TikTok, they're going to flood there. Also, remember, flood there for content. Like, it's not going to stop. You still have women doing this, leading women to their forever doom and then being forever lost. A continuous vicious cycle that we will not get out of because of women like her.
I said being pretty is not enough for a lot of men because I'm pretty and I'm still single. So
what do you want?
Nowadays, I don't know. I really don't know what I want because these men, they don't know what they want. A lot of men don't know what they want in women.
And you said you're how old again?
33.
33. So regardless as to what men want, you don't know what you want?
I mean, I know what I want, but...
And what is that? Guys, remember the first thing I said about ego? They're not willing to be honest.
To be honest with you, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know what I want in a man. Like, I've been screwed and for so long, I don't know what I want in a man. Like, I literally don't.
Do you have any children?
Yes, I do. She's 5.
Okay. So start with the basics. Do you want to be married?
Of course, who don't want to be married?
Well, I'm
Yes,
talking
I
to
want
you,
to
and
be married.
okay. I've asked you, what do you
I want to
want?
be married before I turn 40.
Okay. Why? Okay. No disrespect, but why is that? Was that so hard for you just to say? Because I've asked you, and you're like, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want. Then I asked if you want to be married. You say, of course.
She don't know what she want. Saying men don't know what they want. Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I have
Could
trust.
you? I need you to hold the phone steady. You can't keep moving it all over the place, or set it down somewhere. Were your mother and father married?
Yes.
Mm.
Are
What?
they
Oh,
still?
my mom and father was married, but they separated when I was like a baby and
Mm-hmm.
got one stepdad. So that's who I
Okay.
know as a father, my stepdad.
Okay. Are your mother and your stepfather still married?
Them two ain't never get married. They just was together for
Yeah,
over,
she
I'm 33, for like 20 something years.
You just said your mother.
she's lying. Pretty much, I don't think that ever happened. I think her mother, daddy, she was a mistake. I'm not trying to play her. I'm just saying. You can tell she's lying. They always felt that the lie they kept on saying was because that light was bright. See, like the light here, it was bright and heavy and directly in their face, and it was beaming, and they couldn't handle it. So she's lying. You can tell, and that's why he stayed calm because he knew she was under pressure, and she needs to relax because it's not that serious. But she's lying, and she really doesn't know what she wants. That's why the bright lights too. They get very bright when a man's asking you. It's like a therapist asking you about your life, saying, say you hire a therapist, right? A therapist and say, I want to fix myself. A therapist is going to ask you questions and then see what you say and see what they get. Of course, they need to know you. So that's all he's doing, and it's a lot. It's a lot. It's not easy.
Your mother and your step. Okay. All right. You just said that your mother and father were not married. Were married for when you were a baby. Then they got divorced.
No, they
Then
didn't got separated. My mama just recently divorced my dad, like 5 years ago. But still, I don't know. That's that situation was crazy. I don't know.
Mm.
But her and my stepdad, they've been together for over 20 something years.
I see your stepfather if they weren't married.
Yeah.
I don't know why they wasn't married. He still was married to
Okay.
my dad.
Did they live in the house together?
Yes.
All right. You have any siblings?
Yes. I have two, but my brother passed away last year.
Sorry to hear that. Your mother has 3 children?
Hmm.
All right. So, young lady, um, just in this little bit of time of talking to you, it's been chaotic. I'm just asking you just the basic stuff about who you are and what you want. And the way you told the story is, yeah, this you
Mm-hmm.
can't make.
She left. She was lying. She was lying. Just like even the last lady that had all that fake up on saying, oh, yeah, I'm single. It's like this, it's like that. Yes, of course. Men are going to be at your beck and call, but are they quality men? Are they the men you really want? No. Do you want men that's just giving you money? Say if that was happening. Do you want a man just giving you money? No. You don't respect him. You respect the Chad more that's using you and abusing you. And it's wild. They don't know. It's just they're wired that way. It's been like that since the beginning of time.
But I'm going to say it because it just needs to be said. It's not single women that keep other women single. It's the women in relationships and marriages that keep single women single. Like, the women in relationships just aren't making the relationships look appealing. A lot of women in these relationships look dried out. They look fussed out, tired. They look like they've had enough. And they just don't make relationships look worthwhile. They look drained and they don't look that happy. And as single women that are friends to these women, we're just looking like we don't think that's something that we want to deal with. It just doesn't seem appealing. Just doesn't, something about it just doesn't tickle my fancy, you know? And that's not every woman. Of course, it's not every woman. Of course, there's plenty of women that are in happy and loving relationships, and their men are all that they ever imagined to be. And I love that for them. But it's not the single people keeping single people single. It's the people in relationships that are keeping the single people single. The things that we have to hear about, the things that we have to see, it just doesn't seem worth it. It just doesn't.
Well, you ladies, it depends on where you're located at, what's around you, what you see all the time, who's your friends. It's kind of like when they say, if you want to be rich, put yourself around rich people. If you want to be happily married, place yourself around happily married people, right? That's the way to go. So the fact that you're saying this, it shows me you haven't picked up those, how can I say, natural things that everyone knows. Everyone has that in their mind somewhat. They were given that as they were growing. It's true. Common sense, actually. So the fact that you are being around, see, this is the thing, right? If I see someone, I'm around someone and then they're in an unhappy relationship, I won't make myself friends with them. I'll still be cordial, of course. I'm cordial with everybody, but I won't place myself around them a lot. Why? I don't want that negativity rubbing off on me. Like, I had friends in the past I talk to all the time. They're talking about how they're unhappy, and then come to find out the problem is them. I stopped talking. I don't want to talk about that. Look, I'm trying to make money. I don't want to hear about nonsense drama. That's not what I'm about. That's not what moves me. And what doesn't move me, I got to be away from it. I got to be around it. I got to keep it out of my life. And everybody should be that way too.
You're the reason that you're single. Yeah, obviously, if I wanted to get into a mediocre relationship, I could easily do that. And newsflash, almost every woman on the planet could.
Here we go again.
Because for most women, it is not hard to find a man who will date you. It is hard to find a man who you actually want to date. And I'm not talking about guys who are good looking or make a lot of money, because there are a lot of those guys out there. The truth of the matter is that most women want a guy that they're attracted to and a guy who wants to make them happy. That does not mean a guy who buys them nice gifts and takes them on expensive dates. I'm talking about a man who, when his partner says, hey, this thing you do makes me feel XYZ way, or this bothers me, instead of saying, this is just who I am, I'm sorry that you feel this way, or I don't know what else to say, he says, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that was an issue, and I'll make changes moving forward. And before anyone says anything, yes, this is how I operate as well. I want to make people happy, especially if we're going out. If you come to me with a reasonable problem or a reasonable emotion, I am very willing to listen and adjust accordingly. But unfortunately, in today's society, I don't think that's super common. I think people always want to make excuses and always want to fight. And that's just not what I'm looking for. So yes, I am the reason that I'm single. And I'm very comfortable waiting until I find someone who fits into the dynamic that I know I deserve.
We do not care.